So, what video game console, have you played the most variety of games on? Not the one you spend the most time playing, or like one specific game, but that you played the most amount of games on.
Um, I would say, I'd say probably PS2, just because like I don't think I really like because I was playing like Lord of the Rings. Like I don't play shit like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like I was playing like Lord of the Rings. I was playing the street games like NBA, NFL, street playing. So I was playing my sports games, playing my fighting games. I think I was playing SOCOM. Like this before Call of Duty, so we were playing SOCOM back
Right.
then. We were playing that. Tony Hawk. What else we playing? I'm trying to think of all the different games we played. I'm playing wrestling, of course. I think I said fighting games already. Um, I think I played. I can't remember if God of War was on that or PS3.
PS2. God
Okay,
of War
yeah,
1 was PS2.
yeah.
And probably
Played
God
that
of
when
War
we
2
did.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. And we play. I played like some of the adventure games. I was playing like Hitman. And I was playing adventure games like what's the one? There's just different like games like the Disney video games
Right.
like Kingdom Hearts and shit like that. I would say either PS2 or Xbox
Yeah,
because
and that
we also had Buffy. Buffy the Vampire Slayer was available
right.
too.
That's on both. And they have that on both systems. There's two different games. There's the Chaos Bleeds, and then there's the just Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, I beat the first one. The second one, I was stuck on this one mission, and I feel like now if I played it
Yeah.
now, I'd beat it. But back then, I couldn't get
It's
past it.
like I started playing Chaos Bleeds. It's really fun, and I definitely for me it would definitely be the original Xbox because I didn't have PS2. I had Xbox. So
I have both.
I played a bunch of different games, different genres, different everything. On the regular Xbox, that's when I was still like figuring out what I liked. And there's just so much. And it's the same thing with the PS2. They only share majority same catalogs outside of few exclusives. And then later
Yeah.
it would have been PlayStation. I mean PS2 because I mean looking at now, I mean the library is just I can split between the two, and I'm just still playing a bunch of different games.
PS2 was like college, like you're experimenting, like
Right.
that's what for me.
Yeah, that's how it was
in
in Xbox. Yeah, and I played that Xbox. I still have that Xbox. Actually, that Xbox is still next to me, like 5 feet away,
Yeah,
not even like 3 feet
Mine
away.
took a shit, and I had I don't know if yours came with Jet Set Radio Future.
Yes,
and
I had.
Sega GP
Yes,
2002, I think. Those two games. I only had those two games of Buffy for the longest. And then
So
started
yeah,
branching out.
mine was so the first for my original Xbox. So I had two Xboxes because the first one I got my house got robbed and they just took the Xbox.
That's crazy.
They tore the whole house apart, but just took the Xbox and all the games.
Yeah,
Uh, I know who it was. It's a whole thing, but regardless, I was young, and that's what I got the same. I had the same bundle. I had the Jet Set Radio Future and the racing game, and then I had Grand Theft Auto 3 because what happened was my stepdad bought the 2-pack. He bought it was Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City because those came out together as a together pack on the Xbox.
I wasn't allowed to play that back then.
They kept Vice City, we kept Grand Theft Auto 3. And then I also had Lord of the Rings and a bunch of other things. That got stolen, and then I got a new Xbox, and that also had the Jet Set Radio Future and the racing game. So that's always that was always in my collection. I don't have it anymore, but I'm sure I can find it easy. I spent a lot of times playing Jet Set Radio Future, and I'll be completely honest, I don't know how far I actually got, or if I actually accomplished anything in that game.
I was gonna say that was one of the ones that took me forever to beat as a kid. Like looking back on, I'm like, I was really struggling in that game. That one,
Yeah.
and I beat Def Jam because I had Def Jam Fight for New York on there. I had Def Jam Vendetta on PS2, and I had Fight for New York on Xbox. But I was really like, because back then, like I said, I was playing everything back then. Now I just kind of limited to sports and fighting games now, and I might very rarely play a shooting game. But back then, if it was a game, I was playing it back then.
Right.
And WWE Raw 2, and
I have that over here.
What's the other one I had? It's another game. Like, it took up so much of my time on Xbox. Like, if I popped in, like, my Xbox was always WWE Raw 2, Def Jam, and I want to say NBA 2K. I think it was like 2K6.
2K, yeah. I had NFL. I got NFL 2, the last NFL 2K game for $5 out of a clearance bin because it wasn't selling anymore, and it was a store that was also closing down.
It was NFL Street 2. That was the one I got all my time too.
And I never got my hands on that as a kid.
That one was really fun. Like, that was the one where Exhibit was like playing with you, and he was like helping you like through the little story. And then at the very end, he's like, "Oh, now you got to play me." And you're like, "Oh shit!" But it ended up not being as hard as I thought it was going to be. But it was like the final boss.
I played NBA Street 2 a lot. Or was it 2?
No, for sure.
But I'm realizing now I only played the demo because we had an Xbox demo disc. Also, I can hear myself echoing on your end again.
I don't know why.
So we only had the demo disc. So I play the same level over and over again. So yeah, I played the shit out of it, but I realized it was just the one level over and over and over again because I couldn't tell you how many demo. I can't play demo now. Like now I'm like, no, give me the full game or give me nothing. Like I don't care about timed demos. I don't care about any of that shit. I can't do demos now, but back in the day, I played the shit out of a demo disc.
The only ones I'll play demos for now, like I did it for Mortal Kombat when they dropped the beta because I was just too excited for it. Mm-hmm. So I played the beta for that, and then I don't have it anymore, but I used to have the, I guess because I had like the EA, whatever that thing was, like EA Plus, whatever it was. So I could play the game for 10 hours before the game came out. And I would play it for a little bit. I mean, we played Bad Guy Versus with the one time. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't do any of it. I also, this Sega, the original Sega Genesis might be another one up there that I played a lot of different games for because we also had the Sega Channel. If you don't know what the Sega Channel was, the Sega Channel was this little box that plugged into your Sega, and then you had to buy a subscription to it, and you plugged a coaxial cable into it, like cable, and it would set it was the original like Game Pass. They would send it to your through the coaxial into the Sega. So and they would rotate. They take games in and out. Like that's how I play Aerial Monsters.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that. See, that was my first system was Sega Genesis. The first game I ever played was Mortal Kombat, and like I was playing that. I remember playing Evander Holyfield's boxing. I think we played Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I think it's.
That would have Nintendo. That would have been Nintendo. I think. I think it would have been regular Nintendo.
And then I played Aladdin, Lion King. I was playing those games too, and I think what else we was playing back then. Street Fighter. Yeah, we were playing all that back then. I got scared of when I was playing that shit because he popped up on loading screen.
I don't know if I had the Sega or the original Nintendo first. Now, the original Nintendo, for a good portion of my early childhood, so I had a TV. Picture this. I had a TV that had a Nintendo built into it. 2 controller slots, on, off. You put it in, you close it. It was in the TV. They made... That's like buying a TV with a fucking PS5 in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is crazy for real.
Thinking back and I'm like, what the fuck? But then something happened and the thing broke off and you couldn't play it anymore because it wouldn't close. So
they don't really do stuff like that anymore. Like certain features they had back in the day were fire, and they never do those anymore. like split screen. I don't know if they still do that. Like the
The
last two
split
TVs I
screen,
had,
yeah, there is.
they still do that. I know for the longest
Yeah.
at least the ones I've had, they don't do that. And I remember back in the day, you used to be able to switch it to so like my dad would watch TV on his top.
Oh no, that no.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. No.
Yeah, it used to be, and then like when we figured out to like, because back in the day we used to argue about the game, and I'd be like, I want to play PlayStation, but I'm like, no, I want to play Xbox, and then we were able to figure it out so we could be able to play PlayStation on one half, he play Xbox on the other.
I've never even.
Oh, it was
That's crazy.
Like I missed that for.
That's weird. That is. I've never even heard of that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. I missed that too. Like I would love to just be able to watch. Like I mean, like now I just
Was it a big screen? Was it a big plasma or some shit?
Yeah, it was a big.
I feel like it was a big plasma.
When the big screen TVs with the
it was the whole room. Yeah.
But that one had the split screen on there.
I remember. Yeah, my grandparents specifically had the big screen TV for ever, and I would have been happy with a small 20-inch screen for my entire life, and then technology happened, and now I can't have anything under 45 inches. Like, that's my cutoff. I'm not like, anything under that, what's the point? It's a computer monitor at that point.
Yeah. I'm about to say, my dad just bought a big-ass TV recently. I walked in the house, I was like...
They just keep getting big. I have a limit. I think 55 inches is my limit. Like, I think maybe if I can convince myself to go 65, but that's pushing it.
I gotta see how big his TV is, because he has a big ass TV.
I only have one 4K TV and one 1080p. I don't care. 1080p is good for me. I don't need that. I don't need 4K in every room. I'm cool, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't need it. Like as long as it's, I would say 480 is the lowest I'll go ever. That's the lowest I'll like.
720 is the lowest I'll go. I am a snob somewhat.
That's the lowest. Like if I'm watching something, like because like if I'm watching, let's say like I'm illegally watching a movie, like I'll take 480p at the lowest, and then
that's the thing.
720.
If I'm if I have to illegally watch a movie, I'm still gonna make sure it's good quality, like good enough to not notice.
Yeah. I still want it to be the studio quality if I'm watching it.
Right.
I don't want to watch it and the guy's like, oh shit, people coming and they cover it. People are walking by like, excuse me, sorry. They dropping popcorn and freaking out. Like I don't want to hear.
I don't even know if they still do that. What's the point?
No, they do.
Do they really?
I'll try to watch something and I'll be like, oh, let me see this, and I was like, I watched Cocaine Bear. Like,
oh no, see, my stepdad used to get movies like that all the time. He had a whole library. I mean, you'd get some good things, you get some bad things, a lot of bad things, a lot of really shitty quality movies. We watched a lot of theater movies. And it would be the worst. And then you'd have to like get used to it. Like once you got used to it, you're like, all right, I could do this.
Yeah, I don't like watching.
You know what you do? You know what you do with that? You know what you do with that now? If you have one, get a projector. Hear me out. You get a projector. You just set it up on the projector. You have it stream through there. Turn off all your lights onto the thing. And there's the people around you, the people standing up, talking. They're just part of the movie theater. It's a whole. That's how you get the immersive movie theater feel. Like that's what I should do. Is I should. That's how I should make my money. Is do that and market it as a home theater experience.
I just asked my dad just now. I said, "How big is your TV?" He said 70 inches. That's
God damn.
Yeah, I walked in the house. I said, "This is crazy." I just
that is too big. That's too big.
Yeah, no, it literally takes up the entire wall.
You're going to lose. You're gonna lose your eyesight way quicker, right? Like that's a lot of strain on your eyes.
Yeah, he's already halfway blind, so it's like, well.
All right, well, I think it might be one of our longest preambles. Welcome to Geek and the Sheets, the podcast where we indulge our nerdy passions and explore the latest in pop culture. I'm your host, Hi-Fi Mike, and I'm joined by the bad guy, Kenny. That's it. That's all we got this week. Damone's off. He had a doctor's appointment. Joe's still on sabbatical. So it's just us. All right, so we're gonna start off how we do every week. We're gonna talk about what we've been into this week, what geek culture stuff we've been going with. Bad guy, I'll let you go first.
Okay. I've just been going back and watching old TV shows and movies that I either haven't seen or haven't seen in forever. And the one I guess I'm going crazy over would be Buffy the Vampire Slayer and
Yeah. I'm excited you said that because we have a little bit of Buffy news in this episode actually.
Oh, that's perfect.
And I was afraid you didn't like Buffy, so I didn't. I was like, I don't know if he's gonna be into this.
That's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like Angel more than Buffy, but Buffy Vampire Slayer is still good.
I like Buffy way more than Angel. Angel was good, but it's different from Buffy. They're two completely different shows. Angel is a detective show.
Yeah, I mess with it. Like I
need to go back.
Watching it, like how it's supposed to be like back to
back and forth.
Buffy, watch Angel because they go into the shows every now and then, and I'm just like, this is fun.
I tried to do that with Nitro and Raw. It didn't work.
So now I'm at the point now because it doesn't start till the fourth season. Mm-hmm. So I just finished the fourth season of Buffy and just finished the first season of Angel, and now I'm just kind of like, this is where it gets like.
I love them so much. Like it's such good. Like I watched Angel when it was on. I don't think I may have caught Buffy at the tail end of it being on.
I was gonna say that was one of them shows like me and my dad we used to watch that all the time together, and I don't remember the last season like that of Buffy. Like I watched it, but I don't remember it. But I've seen the seasons 1,000,001 times, but I don't remember the last season like that.
So I do, and there's a reason you don't remember it. You don't want to remember it. You're repressing it.
I don't remember liking it. I remember they had all I remember was the first Evil. Like we had the guy was teasing Spike the whole time,
right?
And what else happened? They had like 1,000,001 Slayers at the house at one point. They were like,
it's it happens. But the thing about Buffy is what's cool is the comic books that continue right after those are all canon, and they also released new comics. I got a bunch of them up to a certain point from a few years ago. I had to stop because there was just too much coming out.
It's a lot. Like so I've read up on a little bit of it, and
I think I stopped halfway through some storylines. So once I finally in like 15 years decide to pull my comics out and start reading things again, I'll know what I'm missing and I'll have access to it. But yeah,
if it's anything supernatural. Or like vampires. I mean, besides Twilight, like vampires, werewolves, superheroes, Star Wars. Like I'm pretty much watching that shit. Like I love that kind of shit.
Interview with the Vampire. If you have HBO Max, the one that just came out for, I think we covered it on the show. I think it was last week, but I don't remember who was on last week. Interview with the Vampire, the TV show that just came out. That is on HBO Max till the end of the month, maybe, because they're doing a partnership, it's a pop up with AMC Plus, which I had AMC Plus because it had Shudder, and I've mentioned this before, but I didn't. I ended up not using it like ever. So, and it was an awful interface. It was just awful to navigate. I went back and decided to since last week, I think it was, or maybe 2 weeks ago, we talked about Ninja Turtles 3. So I've actually been so I've actually been putting it on for bedtime for my bedtime show. Or it's not a show; it's a movie.
You can't finish it, huh?
But no, because I've already watched it a bunch of times in my life. I can't tell you how many times I saw it. But what happens is it's on. I don't know what streaming service it's on, but I think it's on Peacock. No, Paramount. And what happens is after it's done, it plays another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. And lately, it's been going to either the shitty CGI one that came out. It was supposed to be like the fourth movie technically, but it was awful. Or it goes to the second movie, which is great. But I've been going between that, the first three movies. I've also been putting on, so the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I've been only putting on the last three seasons. Now, the reason is, I found out that those, and this is something I didn't realize, those were made after the first movie came out. So it has a different theme song, and it cuts in between animated and live action versions of the Turtles. But it's a darker tone. The sky is red, so these are called the Sky Ready seasons. It's action heavy. It has internal conflict. It's darker. It went like Batman the Animated Series almost. It's dark. Like those last three seasons is what the whole thing should have been to begin with. It reminds me a lot of the movies. Reminds me a lot of the comics. Like it's a darker tone. It is still for children. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
But they got rid of a lot of the weird characters. Like I said, the sky is always dark. Like the sky is red. Like there's no more of that bright sunshine. Like they're not going to fucking meeting the Easter Bunny. They're not just sneaking out to go watch movies with humans. Like they're fighting crimes and gangs and they defeat Shredder and Krang. Like they go to Dimension. Like it's cool. Like I can't believe I didn't see this before. Like I don't know how I missed it. It's always been there. But yeah, the Red Sky years, the 8, 9, is it 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 10? The last three seasons.
No, I've never.
I think it's 7, 8, 9. It's the last three seasons. It's completely different. I promise you. Like, give it a shot if you can find those three seasons. The last three. Watch them. I've been putting them on. It's been fun. I definitely recommend it. I've just been super, super deep into the Ninja Turtles lately.
I've only watched the movies, and I watched a little bit of the show when I was a kid, but yeah, that's all I really watched.
I watched Mutant Mayhem, which I talked about last week.
I still gotta see that.
It's really good. I do recommend it. I haven't finished it. That's my curse with movies, is I didn't finish it. I watched most of it. I didn't finish it. That's just how I am. I'll eventually get back around to it, but I've been doing different Turtles media and throwing it on. I'm gonna probably throw on some of the there's two series that I've also need to watch because I heard they're good. So I'm gonna give them a shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna when I get done watching Buffy and Angel for the 100th time, I'm gonna probably watch Charmed all the way through because I've never seen it all the way through. I watched half. I just can't get into that. I want to watch Charmed and I want to finish Supernatural because every time I can't get past the first season.
That's the thing is that if you're not going to watch One Piece, you're not going to watch Supernatural, right? Like it's
but that's my
the exact same amount of fucking episodes. I couldn't get through the first season of Supernatural. I was like that was even before. I think I started trying to watch it when it was like 5 or 6 seasons in.
Everybody says season 2 and on is where it gets better. Like when I see it on TV randomly, it's fire. I'm like, okay, this show's good. Right. But when I try to watch it in order, I'm like, this first season is awful.
Yeah, I can't get through it. Now it's just too much. Now it's an undertaking. Now I can't do it. But I will watch Buffy. I'm gonna watch Buffy and Angel again soon.
Yeah.
Charmed I will also watched on its first run, and I finished it up while it was on.
I gotta finish it. I've got pretty far, but I never finished it.
And I also watched the reboot, the first season of the reboot, which is really good. But I didn't.
My dad didn't really care for it like that, but I know because he loves Charmed. I don't like it because it's not really too much fighting in it.
Right.
It's kind of like okay, this guy's doing fucked up shit, and then they kind of power 3 will set it free, and they'll disappear. Like
I think there is a lot. I mean, decent fighting in the first one. I feel like I remember it. Doesn't mean it's true, but in my mind I see it happening. But I also could be mixing it up with Buffy, which is very possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say Buffy is all
it's all fighting, which is Sarah Michelle Gellar is fantastic. Yeah, and I wish we could get more Buffy live action. But
Yeah, and not the movie though, but the rest.
You know what? I'll even watch the movie because it has the characters. All right. So the movie, funny enough, I watched the TV show first. I was already deep into that, but then I got a book for the movie. So it was an adaptation of the movie turned into a book. So I read that before I saw the movie. So I already liked the characters. Like there's some cool characters in there. Also, Pee Wee Herman, I can't think of his name. And Paul Rubens is in it, and Paul Rubens is fucking hilarious.
That's the only part I like is in that movie is when he has his death.
He's crazy.
He's like, as a kid, I thought that was the funniest shit ever, and I was a big fan of Pee Wee Herman for some reason as a kid.
But that is,
I love that part when he was. It's the Lizard Man. I was crying laughing as a kid.
Oh man, rest in peace, man. Yeah, but what's cool about the movie is it explains why she had to leave where she lived because they mention the fire. But what's cool is meeting her first Watcher, and understanding why she doesn't want to be a Slayer.
Yeah, I mean, but in that one, she was the popular kid in school, the cheerleader.
Right.
She had a life like pretty much like her life was set, and then that situation happens where she becomes a Slayer, and it's like damn, like my whole life fucked up. Had to burn the school down. Then the Buffy the Vampire Slayer show kind of kicks.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's all canon. It's a shame that the original actress is nuts now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, she's nuts. She's super QAnon, right wing, just.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've only seen her in I think I've seen her maybe 2 or 3 movies ever. I saw her in that. The one when Charlie Sheen is kidnaps her and then
Oh yeah, baby is a babysitter.
No, it's called
Adventures Babysitting. No,
it's called
she's in Adventures Babysitting, right?
It's called The Drive or something like that. It's her and Charlie Sheen, and literally kidnaps her with a Butterfinger. He has in his jacket, and then he kidnaps her. She's supposed to be really rich, and then they end up low key falling in love throughout the movie.
Got it.
As they're driving away. But it's a fun movie, but it's wild. But I've only seen her in those 2, and as a no movie, I feel like I've seen her in. What's the movie? Higher Learning. I think it was Higher Learning.
Okay. Yeah, she's not so now.
That's crazy.
Blue Giant is a trailer we watched for an anime. It's a jazz anime, as I like to call it. It's a jazz anime. It's about I'll just read you the synopsis because it does not actually. It does awful. It doesn't explain either. Dai Miyamoto, a student from Sendai, receives a saxophone as a gift from his brother Masayuki. He starts practicing immediately. That's it.
Like that, okay.
Hey man, I'm proud of I did not stumble through those Japanese names. I did well. Masayuki,
the movie's called The Chase. That's what I was thinking of with The Chase.
Got it. Okay.
I'm looking her up now. I forgot she was in Dude, Where's My Car. She was Christy Boner.
Oh. Yeah. So this movie comes out in theaters October 8th and 9th. It looked interesting. I'll wait for it to be streaming.
I mean, they were jamming though. I saw them. He's going crazy, but I don't know if I'm going to go to theaters to see it. I might, illegally watch it. But
I think they even had the line in there. Do you like jazz? From B movie. That's all. It's like, do you like jazz? That's just jazz. I like blues more than I like jazz. But movies and jazz has its place, and I like the jazz that's in movies and media. It's not usually
you just don't recreationally
too out there. Yeah, I don't recreationally listen to jazz. I'll listen to blues and rock and another thing, but jazz it's like the jam band of music of not jam bands. Jam bands of old music. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, do you have to add the extra measure? Really? Why can't you just count normally? But yeah, it looked interesting. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Daredevil crossover will happen, says Kevin Eastman.
I thought
Eastman
they already
said,
did that.
no, they did not.
I'm thinking of Batman. My fault. I'm
Yeah,
thinking of Batman.
with Daredevil? I don't think with Daredevil.
No, I mean Batman and Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah. Batman
That's
Ninja
what I
Turtles,
was
which I think they did 3 of them. I have all three original copies in there. That was one of the reasons I started collecting comics. Actually, was because of that and the Back to the Future comics, which I have the entire run of. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Daredevil crossover will happen, he says. In my mind, a lot and often, it's been something that in all sincerity I believe will happen. But if not, I'll just do it for free and put it out. The thing is, Daredevil is a character long before Frank Miller. I grew up on Bill Everett, Wally Wood, Bob Brown, Gene Colan. Daredevil was my guy. I really gravitated towards the more I... Why does this sound awful? I really gravitated towards... This is not AI. This is from Kevin Eastman. Like, I watched the interview. Like, he was talking. But this transcript is awful. I really gravitated towards it more. I don't want to say grounded, but you had Daredevil, Captain America, and Batman. There was similarities of more human, accessible characters, but Daredevil was my favorite. But certainly when Frank Miller came in and issues number 158 blew us away. It was just epic. I wonder if they use like a dictating software to get that, because that just seemed... I promise you, I read it. When I read it, it made sense. I was like, there's also a video interview. But reading it out loud, man, that was awful. Maybe he really does speak like that. I don't know. But yeah, so that'd be cool. Teenage Mutant Ninja... That's a tongue twister after I've said it so many times. TMNT and Daredevil. I could see that happening. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening too.
I think that they should just... I mean, they already crossed into DC, so why not cross over to Marvel? Let's get them in Deadpool. Yeah, let's get Deadpool. Let's get...
for some reason.
No, it definitely hasn't happened. I wish it happened. That'd be cool. But yeah, I'd like to see that crossover.
Yeah, it hasn't happened. I already thought it happened. It did not.
No, I think the only one I really know they crossover... Oh, they crossovered with the Power Rangers, which I have those two.
I hope Ninja Turtles whoop their ass. I hate the Power Rangers.
No, they were together. They teamed up. I like Power Rangers, so fuck you.
We had an argument about that, but who would win the fight between Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles?
I think it ended up being even. No, the Power Rangers would definitely win. They have guns and swords and a fucking mech.
I'm still Team Ninja Turtles.
I like the Ninja Turtles and I love the Power Rangers, but let's look at it seriously. Tech wise, the Power Rangers have the advantage in every way possible. Also, I think they also had a crossover in the TV shows in the 90s, but it was like Power Rangers in space. Bad Bunny...
I never got to Power Rangers.
Bad Bunny is seemingly out of Spider-Man spin-off El Muerto, but the film still is in the works. When asked about the film in Vanity Fair, Bad Bunny, a.k.a... I'm not saying his a.k.a. Bad Bunny replied, I don't know what to say. He called the issue delicate before his publicist interjected. Obviously, it's out. Boy, okay. The comics, El Muerto is the son of a luchador that has superhuman strength and endurance after he inherits a mystical wrestling mask. So it's like the mask for lucha. With El Muerto off the release schedule, the next Sony Spider-Man film should be Madam Web, which is currently dated for February 16th, 2024. That's not happening. It's not happening.
I know it's not going to happen right then and there, but I think it's not coming to like 2026. Really.
Oh, we're not getting shit. We're not getting shit. There's a good chance half of us are going to be dead by then. I don't know what to tell you. Like they're going to drag their feet. We're not going to. All these studios are losing money. Not only are the studios losing money, the crews can't work. Like it's going to be bad here soon, man. Like everything's going to be slated so far that they're not going to be able to ever get caught up, and we're going to be stuck. We're just going to be stuck producing movies and not releasing them for 2 years. So pay these people so we can go back to work. I gotta go to work. God damn it. Pay them.
Get your shit together.
Right? Come on, man. You guys got the money. Just pay these people. But yeah, I never heard of this character, El Mordo. Maybe I have, but off the top of my head, I can't recall him. But I think the idea is kind of cool.
You talking about were you talking about El Muerto?
Yeah.
Okay. I was confused. I'm not gonna lie. You said El Muerto. I was trying to think who that was.
I can't. My nose is too plugged up to try to even attempt to put any flair. Weird, like it's just not happening. Like my throat's dry, and my nose is stuffed. I'm doing my best here, man. It's awful when you have to when your job is to talk. And you can't seem to do it.
It's like Johnny Depp in Secret Window.
Right. Marvel Studios VFX workers. Speaking of VFX workers, vote unanimously to unionize. Come on, guys, unionize. So Marvel Studios visual effects workers have voted unanimously to unionize with International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, IATSE. The unit announced it to unionize vote on Wednesday. Last month, 50 VFX employees from Marvel Studios filed for union election at the National Labor Relations Board to be represented by IATSE.
We're fucking you up.
That you know what? That's part of the show is that I can't read. I thought it was just names. It's just everything.
I can't say that because I'll be stuttering on Hood Movie Review sometimes.
Right. And having to squint, guys, if you're not watching the video, I gotta squint. I gotta close an eye in order to read. I don't know how to solve this. I don't know what the problem is, but I've tried the phone, I've tried the computer. I don't know what it is. I gotta squint to read. That somehow affects my speech. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm dealing with it. You're along with me for this journey of figuring it out. They attempt to unionize. They put it into vote. So they are now unionized with IATSE. And those are the people also not getting paid right now because there's nothing being made. They're not striking, but they can't strike.
That just sucks because, like, as a visual effects worker, I feel like you're like one of the most important people because Flash.
they probably have awful working conditions. They probably because they're not union, so they're probably pulling in long hours. Just like the video game union needs to do better because they're also struggling.
Yeah. No, for sure.
The Crow.
Like the state of everything going on right now, like because I'm a movie head. Like, by the way,
right?
Y'all don't know I'm a movie head. So like when these movies get pushed back, I'm sorry. Like,
the Crow, and the Crow is an anti-Marvel film, says producer. We've heard this before, right? We've heard films being called anti-Marvel films by producers to hype it up, and it just means absolutely fucking nothing.
I still the example of the original Crow with Brandon Lee.
No,
That's one of the movies I've never seen. I have to finish.
it's
I
good,
saw
but
the beginning. That's it.
this is the remake. The
Yeah, I still have to see the
Crow,
original.
the Crow remake will star Bill Skarsgård, the guy who's in
Yep, Pennywise.
I almost bought a Pennywise shirt today, but I decided no, I don't want to wear purple. And I also didn't want to do his Pennywise on the shirt. That felt weird.
I like his Pennywise though.
Well, I like his Pennywise, but so the shirt it's at Five Below. If you guys have Five Below, you can see it. It's everywhere. But it's like purple shirt. First of all, I don't really wear many things outside of black, so this blue shirt I'm wearing is the rare exception to the rule. But it's purple, light purple, and it would look like a comic book cover. But for whatever reason, the vibe I got wasn't that Pennywise. You know what I mean? Like it would have been better if it was the other Pennywise. I don't know.
Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry. Oh, I'd love a Tim Curry on a shirt. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I think they did a good job, and I did just hear about him being in the Crow. I think it was this morning actually. I heard about that. It's something that's supposed to be too.
The updated version of The Crow has been in the works for a long time, with various projects greenlit and subsequently abandoned. I think earlier this movie was supposed to have Jason Momoa as The Crow. That didn't work out.
Nosferatu. That's the other person supposed to be too.
Got it.
Nosferatu too. So yeah, look out for that.
Sorry, I taken too much air and I got a yawn. We're finally at a point where we can really explore those other avenues because it's such a unique property in that it's not a studio film. It's not a Marvel film. It's kind of an anti-Marvel film, he said. This is Sam Pressman, the producer. I have the highest hopes for that, and I really love what Molly Hassel has done in pushing it up the hill, and Rupert Sanders is such a visionary. I'll be honest with you. I like the original Crow. I am not excited for this in the slightest.
I still got to see it. Like, I've seen all Bruce Lee's movies, so the fact that I haven't seen Brandon Lee's movie is kind of like, damn, I haven't checked that out. But
yeah.
I don't know, that kind of dark, that kind of movie. That's not my kind of movie though. Like, even though I like supernatural shit, that's like, I don't know. I just can't get into that movie. Like that one and what's the other one? Donnie Darko.
I love Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko's so good.
Fire, and I just can't do it. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna sit down and watch it one day. But I just can't.
Donnie Darko's really good, but I will say Donnie Darko isn't for everybody. So when Donnie Darko was always one of my favorite movies, but I never recommend it to people unless I knew for a fact they'd enjoy the movie. If you were gonna ask me if I think you would enjoy the movie, probably not.
Okay. I'm still gonna watch it anyway, but
Watch it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I liked it. I love that movie. I got the director's cut. Like that. Personally, I think the director's cut is the better cut of the movie. If you can watch it, watch the director's cut.
okay.
Same thing with Butterfly Effect. If you're gonna watch Butterfly Effect, watch the director's cut.
I don't know which version. I watched it for the first time. I think last year. I tried to watch it as a kid. I couldn't get into it, but then I watched it later. I was like, this movie's really good, but I don't know if I watched the regular or director's cut.
Definitely, those two movies specifically, watch the director's cut. Most movies now, when I watch it, if there's a director's cut, I try to get to that. But I like to have the option of theatrical or director's cut. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We did see the trailer for Bloodthirst, which is a post-apocalyptic movie about vampires. It has Tara Reid in it and Robert Lasardo. It looked like it was shot. What'd you say?
I was saying the cop from Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie.
It looked like it was shot on an iPhone at a Ren fair. So
it could be interesting. It feels kind of like, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Vampires, the one with starring
no.
John. What the fuck is his name?
Is that a porno? Because that sounds like it would just be a porno.
No, it came.
Vampires.
It was in the 80s. Fuck, I can't think of his name. Josh Woods. It's starring Josh Woods. You remember him from Family Guy? Like,
Josh Woods or
James Woods, something like
James
that.
Woods. James Woods.
I knew it was something like that. Yeah, James Woods.
Yeah, definitely James Woods.
That movie is. If you've never seen it before, definitely check that out. That movie is fire. But yeah, it reminded me of that, but like a low budget version of it. It looks like a low budget version of an 80s movie, of that 80s movie, which isn't good. Like, we have better effects now. We should be doing that.
We also saw the trailer for Totally Killer, which when I put it in there, I was like, I don't know, this looks dumb, like just by looking at a screenshot. But I'll be completely honest with you, I want to see it real bad. It's about this girl who her mom's friends got killed 30 some odd years ago. She goes back in time and meets her mom.
And accidentally hangs out with them and ends up in that cabin with them.
Right.
Like,
it's you called it a horror hot tub time machine. Which I believe should be on the movie poster. Like, like 2 thumbs up, horror hot tub time machine should definitely be on there. I'm here for it. We also saw the trailer for Johnny Outlaw, or Outlaw Johnny Black. I'm here for it. It's by the people that did Black Dynamite.
It's Cowboy Black Dynamite, and I'm excited for it. I want to see
it looked funny. It looked charming. Like, it looks good. Overall, it has Michael Jai White. It's great. I definitely highly recommend it. I haven't seen it yet, obviously, but just going off the trailer.
I hope he keeps doing that with these characters. I want to see like a crime noir version of them. I want to see like, we already got the slave version. I don't really want to see more slave movies, but they kind of did that with Django. I think that's pretty close. So I feel like they just keep going back in time with these movies. That'd be fun.
I mentioned that this reminds me of like a movie that Mel Brooks should be making these days. Listening to the description, all right, it's also directed by Michael Jai White. Hellbent on avenging the death of his father, Johnny Black vows to gun down Brett Clayton and becomes a wanted man in the process, while posing as a preacher in a small mining town that's been taken over by a notorious land baron. That does kind of sound like what's that Mel Brooks movie? Also, I'm echoing again.
Yeah, I don't know why.
So it kind of reminds me of the plot of Blazing Saddles. Very loosely, but the whole mining town and land baron, that whole thing.
Is Blazing Saddles with Gene Wilder?
Yeah.
I've never seen that. That's one of
my man, you need to.
And I've seen a lot of his movies, but that's one of the ones I missed.
You've seen Mel Brooks movies, right? I don't have to explain. I don't have to explain. No. Life of Brian is not Mel Brooks. That's Monty Python.
I'm trying to think of what Mel Brooks made.
Mel Brooks, he's done a lot. I can't pull it up. Mel Brooks.
So Dracula. I've
seen the producers.
I've seen Robin Hood Men in Tights, Spaceballs, and I've seen History of the World Part 1. So I've seen those 3 movies.
Okay, oh man, you need to go through his whole thing. I'll be honest with you. Like, he has just a huge, just great like catalog of things. So if you ever have the opportunity. That being said, the Blazing Saddles, I think you like it. If it uses language that a lot of people they use the N-word a lot. but in a comedic fashion. But also, that's the way that you gotta watch it. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was. I'm looking at the movies he's been in. I didn't realize he was in. He was Big Weld in Robots, and he was Mr. What was it? Mr. Welling in and what's that movie called? He-Man, Woman Haters Club. What's that group?
Little Rascals. Yeah, he's been a few things.
Yeah, stuff.
He likes to basically he likes to be controversial and be controversial. Like the movie, the producers is about not he's Jewish, so he gets to make these jokes, but about Nazis, making a play about Nazis, trying to get it canceled, but it goes on. So he made a whole musical about Hitler in this movie in the producers. Like it's provocative to be provocative, but it's also really funny.
Okay.
But in 70s humor. So keep that in mind. It's old. But I do like Mel Brooks a lot. Also, people don't like Robin Hood Men in Tights. I love Robin Hood Men in Tights. I watched the shit out of that movie when I was a kid. Also, I was watching it as a kid.
I've watched it a couple times, but I liked it. I remember liking it.
I could close my eyes and watch that movie from front to back. Like, under my eyelids, I watched that so much. That and Major League. I had no reason watching these movies, but I did.
That's another one I haven't seen a lot either, but I remember liking it.
Oh, Major League.
I didn't like the second Major League, but I liked the first one.
No. Anything after the first one's awful. But I will watch the first Major League anytime it's on or somebody asks. And I'll watch the sequels. But I've only watched those a handful of times.
I'm not watching anymore after that. Like, the second one is watchable, and then after that, it's like, I'm not watching it anymore. 2
is good because it still has a lot of the main cast. I think 3 has some of them, but it's back to the minors. I think that's what it's called. I remember when that one came out. And it didn't have Charlie Sheen, so I was out.
Yeah.
Like, I only watched it for Vaughn. I only watched it for Wild Thing.
Yep. I like it. I like Wesley Snipes in the first one. I like Wesley Snipes.
Oh yeah. And I used to be able to quote that line. Willie Mays Hayes. Yeah. I'm fast like I don't even know. Fast like Willie. I don't know. It's great. I love it. Such a good movie. Buffy the Vampire Slayer original cast returns for new series Slayer. Don't get your hopes up. It's not what it sounds like. You'll realize it here in a second. Whenever I see this announcement, so-and-so show original cast returns, I automatically know what it's going to be.
Them sitting around talking about it.
It's an audiobook. Or an audio play. So it's a number of key members of that TV series is reunited for an all-new Audible original Slayers, a Buffyverse story. Stars like Charisma Carpenter, James Marsters, and Anthony Head are all returning to the Buffy universe for this project, which will also see the debut of various new and exciting characters, which picks up 10 years after the original series finale.
So how would Cordelia come back
October 12th? We'll find out. I think she came back in the comics. I think they brought her back. Also, it's Buffy. Nobody stays. If you want somebody to come back, you can find a loophole. It's very easy to pull somebody out. How many times did Buffy come back?
Oh, not Dracula. What the fuck is her name? Darla. They brought Darla back like she wasn't like a regular vampire.
Right. And Buffy died 2 times?
Yeah, she died twice on the show.
I think it was, and that was a whole thing in the musical episode, right?
No, she died. She got her. She drowned. The Master drowned her, and then she killed herself to save everybody else when she fought Glory. That,
no, I'm saying they reference it. They reference it in.
Oh yeah.
Like, that was part of her. Yeah, yeah. We'll fight through the fire. All right. It was so off key, but
so many
that's the only still to this day is the only Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode I can get my kid to watch. She loves that episode. She loves the music in it. I want her to watch the rest of it. Probably she's afraid of it. Like, come on, man, you're 12.
I was the same way. I was afraid of it too.
At 12 I was in. At 12 I was all in.
I think that's around the time I started watching, around like 12, 13. But I remember when I was younger than that, I was scared of it. So I was like, every time I would hear the theme song, I'm like, cover my ears and stuff.
2001, yeah, I would have, like, the TV show stuff was not scary, so I would watch it. If there's a TV show, I didn't have a problem. Movies, I still had a problem with until my late teens.
I was afraid of Buffy and Angel and Freddy Krueger. I was like, those were the main things I was afraid of.
I mean, that first season had monsters like that one who turned into, like, maggots. The dude who would, like, he turned into, like, this, he's a chubby fat dude, and he, like, turned into maggots, and he went under the door.
That was the second season.
Is it second season?
No, that was
It's definitely the first season. Because Willow still wore a fucking jumper dress.
Yeah, it wasn't the first season. I know that for a fact. It wasn't the first season. It was either second or third. No, it was second. I want to say it was second. Yeah, it was second season because it was second season because that was when the other Slayer came. The other Slayer came.
I'm putting the pause on. I'm putting the show on pause, and I'm gonna look it up so we can come back.
It's the second season. It's second season for
sure. So hold on, everybody. We'll see who's right here. We're gonna put the show. You'll hear it here. All right, folks. I was wrong. It was season 2.
Xander Cordelia were dating then, and that was when because at that point, because that was after, because the last episode of the first season was when she drowned, the Master drowned her. So at that point, when she drowned, a new Slayer was made, and that was when it was the black girl. I forget her name. I don't know why I can't think of her name right now. And she was.
I can't either.
She was. I think her name was. I read it was Bianca Larson. I don't know what her name was on the show, but she was the other one, and she was fighting alongside her too. And then she came back, and then Drusilla snapped her neck, and then we got a new one, which was Faith, in the third season.
I'm realizing how much damage Drusilla has done to my life personally, and how that shaped a lot of my last few dating years. And like the last, by a few I mean like 15, 20, the whole time. All of it.
What do you mean? Like what do you mean?
I've had some. I've had some. It's some crazy, but stayed around, but thought it was gonna be okay, and it wasn't, and they were just crazy.
Yeah, I remember Spice was getting mad at him. He's like, she left me for a slime demon.
Right.
Yeah.
Square Enix loses nearly $2 billion of value since Final Fantasy 16. Square Enix has lost nearly $2 billion in value since the launch of Final Fantasy 16 in June. A new report casts doubt on the company's ability to recover. The shares in the company have plummeted nearly 30% since the game has come out on. I already read that. On September 6th, closing on September 13th, the lowest point since May last year. The CEO, Takashi Kiryu, we'll go Kiryu, who intends to reduce the number of similar games in the works to focus on big budget games that have greater chance of making an impact on the company's bottom line. Maybe not make 8 Final Fantasy remakes at one time. That would fucking help. So yeah, Square, that's not good. Mostly because I love Square Enix and I don't want to see them close.
Yeah, I didn't know they were doing bad like that.
I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. Something they did, some strategy they had did not work. Mortal Kombat 1 won't have cross-play at launch.
Yeah, I read that this morning, and I was kind of like, damn.
So, it's going to have... Listen to this quote. This is an official quote. The studio noted that while Mind you, I'm going to read this. This is what a studio said. And I want you to think about it for a second. You'll understand. The studio noted that while it won't be available at launch, it's being worked on now and will present post-launch. So they just told you. No, it's not going to be available at launch. It will be available after launch.
Yeah, it's saying the same thing.
No fucking shit.
Yeah. I think the person was they caught them talking with like official like, hey, like I don't think they had a script. It was just kind of like, hey, it's not gonna be out now. It's gonna be out later. That's probably what they were trying.
No
to
shit. No shit.
Yeah, like,
it's not out now. Then yes, it's going to be out later.
Yeah,
it's not available at launch. It's gonna be post-launch. Unless you go back in time and make it pre-launch, it's gonna be post-launch.
Which I'm not tripping over because I'm gonna be at least there's a little bit of time I'm gonna be training, playing the story mode, trying to unlock some costumes, stuff like that. So I'm not tripping over not playing Xbox right now. I'll play some PlayStation people right now, whoop on them, and then get the Xbox and be on them. Talk my shit.
SpongeBob SquarePants. The Cosmic Shake, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. I think it looked fantastic. I'm not going to play it because I'm an adult. I might try SpongeBob, the Cosmic Shake. Okay. It looked beautiful. I wish it was a sandbox more like Grand Theft Auto and I can run around and steal boats. But I will try to convince my kid to play it so I can watch her play it. Because I don't think I'll be able to play it myself.
Not mad at that.
It comes out October 16th. Gargoyles Remastered, and we got an announcement trailer. Now, what that is, the original game remastered. Thus, the remastered. It looked beautiful. For a 2D side-scroller.
And you can switch, and in the trailer they showed you can switch from the old school graphics to now's graphics, and both of them look beautiful too. Like, yeah, it looked good.
It looked really good. I'm definitely down for that. So that's the end of our news. We're actually getting to the end of the news section. We actually ran way longer than I thought, but we're still gonna go. I'm gonna do this section anyways. It's called the list. I'm gonna go down a list that I found online. We go down to their top 10. And in this case, we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna see if these are good spots for this part of the list. In this case, it's games. I went and pulled up the best PS2 games, and so we're gonna talk about them. So at number 10, Burnout 3 Takedown.
Fire. Fire. Only racing game I like is Burnout.
I like Midnight Club. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. And mostly because of the soundtrack.
I never played it, though, to be fair.
Fantastic game. Devil May Cry. I assume this is just the first one. Yeah. I love that game. Great soundtrack. It's a beat 'em up.
I've never played any of those games.
Hack and slash.
I watched my brother play it, and he doesn't. It looks fun, but that's not
fun.
My kind of game.
Oh, it's definitely fun. This is, I don't know if it's ICO or ICO. Never heard of it.
I know you're talking about. I know what that is. I've never played it, but I know what that is.
So that's coming in number 7. Number 8. Number 7 is Final Fantasy X.
Never played a Final Fantasy game, so
good game.
I'll give that to because they always say they're fire.
It's a great game, and I'd probably say that's the best one for the PlayStation 2. So it's not far off. Number 6, God of War.
Yes.
Number 5, Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's the one with the pyramid heads.
I've never played the second one.
I've
only played the first one.
Good, in my opinion.
I need to go play that one. I have Silent Hill The Room, which I'm really excited to play. Resident Evil 4 comes in at number 4. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. At number 4, Resident Evil 4. Let's go.
I thought it was on PS2. I thought it was on GameCube.
Oh no, it's definitely it's on GameCube. It's on PS2. Yeah, it was on everything.
Did it get
except
remastered?
For Xbox?
Did it get remastered put on there later? I don't remember that being on there.
Nope, it was on there. It was the thing with the GameCube was the controller. That was the one with the chainsaw controller. but they definitely was out for the PS2.
See, okay.
It wasn't out for the
hate
Xbox.
GameCube controller. I hate GameCube controller.
Oh no, I didn't
I hate
have a
Nintendo
GameCube.
controllers in general.
So I'm gonna give you. So there's 3 left. I'm gonna let you take a guess. I'm gonna give you 3 guesses. See if you get any of the top 3. So I already said Burnout 3, Devil May Cry, ICO or ICO, Final Fantasy X, God of War, Silent Hill 2, and Resident Evil 4. What do you think is about the top 3 games in the PS2?
PS2. It'll probably be San Andreas.
Okay. It's like Family Feud.
I'm really trying to think of all the games because like,
Yeah.
I don't want to put my top 3 in there and not put their top 3. I'm trying to think. So I got San Andreas in there.
Right.
I'm gonna go probably Jack and Dexter or like
Okay.
Ratchet and Clank, like something like. I know that's 2 different games, but I'm like that's where my head's at.
Mm.
I don't believe in Madden's in there or any like 2K or something like that.
We've talked about one of these games. Not
like
today.
Okay, I was about to say Midnight Club. I feel like Midnight Club's in there.
Not today, but in the past, we've definitely brought up this game.
I can't think of it.
I didn't bring it up in Geek in the Sheets, but I'm currently playing it right now, which I realized I didn't talk about it. I talked about it last week, though.
So, Metal Gear Solid?
Metal Gear Solid 3. So I'll give you that one. Metal Gear Solid 3. Yeah.
I could. Yeah.
So that came in at number 2. So you've got number
3?
3 and number 1. So number 3 is Shadow of the Colossus, which
I don't even know what that
makes
is.
absolute. Oh, really? That was a huge game. I need to go back and play it. They remastered it. I need to play it. I've heard really good things about it. And number 1 is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which absolutely makes sense.
I've never heard of this game ever.
Really?
And I know the rest
How
of it,
did you escape that? Like I've never really played it, but I could never escape it.
Yes, I've never seen it.
Wow, that's crazy. Like, what world did you come from? Because that is a huge game in this one.
I was saying, I'm like, I've never heard of this game. I thought it would be something totally different than that.
It was a huge game. Like, I promise you, it was one of the biggest PS2 games. Obviously, they named it, ranked it at number 3.
Yeah, I've never heard of that game.
Huge.
And apparently it's on PS4 too.
Yeah, they remastered it. They had it for free for a while too, so I have it for I had got it free on PS Plus once. Yeah, so that is our show. We're gonna go ahead and do plugs. Bad Guy.
You can catch me on all social medias at Bad Guy Spoken. You can catch the Bad Guy Spoken podcast on YouTube, and you can check out the football podcast Unbiased. We by the time this episode comes out, I think episode 3 should be recorded and about to be released. And there's we did a draft, the fantasy football draft live. Well, not live, but we recorded it, and it should be coming up soon. It takes a little bit of editing because I have to, put the actual screen and everything in there and try to match up with the actual. It's a lot of work. But you can also check out Hood Movie Review. That should be coming back out here soon. We should be reviewing How High, so be able to look out for that. All on the same channel.
All right. You can find me on Twitter, hi-fi_Mike, where I think X, Twitter, I don't know. I have an account. I don't have any, other than that, I don't have anything to plug. You can find all the shows on the T13 Media Network on our website at t13media.com. Rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you can rate and review podcasts. 5 or fuck off. That's the golden rule. That is Geek in the Sheets. Geek the fuck out. And I missed the cue.